This is Bad Boys Pilipinas. This past week, the Detroit Pistons clinched their first playoff spot in 6 years with a 117-105 win over the hapless Toronto Raptors. The last time the Pistons were in the playoffs was the year when a hobbled Blake Griffin tried to come back in game number 2 of their first round series against Milwaukee, when he was still clearly injured. Truth be told, I doubt that even a healthy Blake Griffin would have made much of a difference against the first seeded Bucks that year. Also, to give a bit of perspective, none of the players on that roster 6 years ago are still on the team this year. Now, I know that the turnover of players in the NBA in recent years has been high, but it is still surprising to this Sportito that no one has lasted on the Pistons roster this long. We can definitely credit the several reboot, retool, and restore campaigns of management for this. And when you look at management itself, we can also see the high turnover. It's evident there as well. I think we went through about four people deciding on player movement throughout the span of 6 years. I'm only glad that it seems that Trajan Langdon is finally the right guy on top making these strategic decisions. This past week, has been trying for Detroit. Cade was out for 3 of the 4 games. Tobias didn't play at all. I actually think that they are saving him up for the playoffs. And also, we had those suspensions on Stu, Sass, and Holland. It resulted in a very lean, thin lineup. Yes, the team still had Dennis Schroeder, Jalen Duren for a couple of games, Malik Beasley, Tim Hardaway Jr., and even Oscar Thompson. But the weapons were just not enough. The result, the team came out of it with a 1-3 record. Their lone win, that one that clinched them the playoff spot. They're currently in number 6, jockeying for playoff position with a Milwaukee squad that is currently being carried solely by Giannis Antetokounmpo after the injury to Damian Lillard. And it seems that the schedule doesn't ease up as we head into the last week of the regular season. They start the final week going up against a Kings squad that is on a 2-game winning streak, including a victory against the Eastern Beast Cleveland Cavaliers. The addition of Zach LaVine has somewhat kept a glimmer of hope alive for Sacramento's playoff hopes. He continues to do what he did in Chicago, averaging around 22 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists on 51% field goals, 43% from three-point land, and a career high 88% from free throws. In their last 2 wins, he has actually averaged 31 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 59 points from the field, 60% from beyond the arc, and perfect from the line. After the Kings, they then head to what could be a playoff preview matchup against the New York Knicks, who are themselves on a current 2-game winning streak against the Atlanta Hawks and the Phoenix Suns. The game against Phoenix marked the return of Jalen Brunson, who had missed the past month due to injury. And if it was destiny, the team's last 2 games are against the Milwaukee Bucks, the same Bucks team that Detroit has been fighting for a better playoff position. If anything, this past week has given me the opportunity to observe what the team looks like without several of its main cogs. First, it affirmed my dread whenever Paul Reed receives minutes. He got a lot of burn this past week, and he did produce what one would expect from a third stringer, a backup. But the downside of it was that he was shooting 5 out of 19 from the field. For a big, that is definitely not acceptable. And over the span of that week, also, we got clobbered on the boards. Rudy Gobert, Chet Holmgren, Isaiah Hartenstein, Zach Edey, and Jaron Jackson Jr. got a lot of rebounds against our bigs. And this was during a time when either Duren or Stewart was not available. So it's important that to note that whenever Jalen Duren or Isaiah Stewart is not playing, the team is likely to get dominated on the boards. My second observation is that the team is lucky to have Marcus Sasser as their third point guard, in contrast to Paul Reed being their third center. The guy has made the most of his every opportunity he's got. In games where he averaged 20 minutes or more, he has actually averaged 12 points per game. Not bad. Speaking of the Pistons guards, Dennis Schroeder is the creator that this team has needed after Jaden Ivey went down with his injury. In fact, I definitely think that JI can learn from Dennis on how to be a better defender. Lastly, and I just have to note this, I have to say that Osar Thompson is a game changer. His length and athleticism is one of the X factors in this season. He is so disruptive on defense and so deceptive on offense. While his brother Amen may be getting more praise, no pun intended, Osar is definitely one pesky defender with an offensive big side that will only get better. This Piston squad was 6 years in the making. And granted, I didn't think this team would be this successful this early. I had them fighting for a play in spot just this year. I'm happy that they are in the playoffs. They just need to shore up some positions some more and make sure that their young core can learn as much as they can from the vets and develop their own games. Man, it's a great time to be a Pistons